Hello, what's up guys? It's Pixelated-Apollo. Thanks for stopping by and welcome back to Total War Warhammer. So glad you can join me on another day of battle. And this one is going to be a massive siege battle between the Empire and the Greenskins. And this is also the start of my new quest, which sounds really nerdy, but it's my quest to try to improve the Warhammer siege experience. A couple days ago, I released a video talking about why I don't really like the siege layouts for Warhammer. You know, how linear they were, how fast-paced they were, how all the settlements kind of looked the same, whether you were the Empire, Dwarves, or Vampire Counts. And a lot of you guys were like, hey, Apollo, you should use some mods, which is true. I think mods will improve the overall gameplay of siege battles. The only problem is that I like to play against human players. The AI is just really too boring for me. I like the intense competitive strategy between human versus human. So what I'm gonna do is just try out a bunch of different mods, find the perfect combination, and then try to, you know, tell everyone about that combination. So hopefully a bunch of people will be using the same mod, so we can do some pretty huge battles with multiple players. So for today's battle, we're going to be trying out the Radious Mod, which is a pretty large mod. It's an overhaul mod. It does a lot of different things. I don't know exactly what it does to the game. I'm sure you can look it up somewhere, but I was hoping that this would increase the time of the battles, which this one is only going to last 16 minutes, so it doesn't really do that, but we'll see how the gameplay and the battle turns out. Just let me know if you like this mod. Also, I have some sub mods which increases the unit sizes. So as you can tell, my great swords, I've got 150. Also, I have a sub mod which increases, or not increases, but adds new units to the rosters. Like over here, we got some death heads for the Empire. They look really cool. Look at they're like skull mask over there, and they've got their skulls on their shields there. Pretty awesome. They're also very, very good. So I think that's it for the mods. I have all the links in the description if you guys want to try it out. Also, if you guys have any mods that you want me to try out, if you know any good mods that will, I don't know, it will increase the battle length or anything like that, just let me know, and we'll go ahead and get started with these army comps. We'll start with Jackie Fish's Greenskin army, and he actually has a ton of new units, which is really cool. So in this side with his siege towers here, he has some Bloody Sun Boys, which I haven't seen them yet. I didn't actually look at them during the battle, and unfortunately we can't see them just yet because they're in the siege tower, but I'll be sure to check them out. And then he's bringing over on this side some Orc Boys. He's got some Stone Trolls, very cool, very blue and gross looking. And then he's got some Spear Boys, so it's really cool. The mod adds like Orc Spearmen, because I think in the vanilla game there's just Goblin Spearmen. And then over here we've got a couple Giants. He's got his General in the center leading the charge. And then we've got a bunch of artillery. So what he wanted to do is actually take out sections of the wall, which is really cool because we don't really get to see that too often in these siege battles. And then in the secondary line here, he's got some Broken Tooth Armored Boys. So that's obviously a new unit. They've got some shields and massive like shoulder blade armor there, very intimidating. And then he's got more trolls over here. He has the Arachnarok, and in the very back he has his elite troops, which are some black orcs with the two-handed axe there. But he also has some black orcs with shields, so they have smaller weapons, but they're holding the shields, which looks really freaking cool. And then over here we've got some War Boss Immortals, which is a sweet name, and they look extremely terrifying. They pretty much look like black orcs, but they're dual wielding one-handed weapons there. So my goodness, look at this guy. Would you want to face him in close combat? No, I would run for my life, but that's why no one will remember my name. And then looking at the Empire, I have 2 units of some crossbows. I've got about 4 or 5 units of gunners to try to take out the monsters. I'm bringing about 4 or 5 units of swordsmen. They're going to be the first line of defense. Waiting in reserve, I have a lot of halberdiers holding choke points. And I also have 4 units of great swords. I've got 2 over here. And then I have 2 kind of waiting reserve at the town center. I have a steam tank to, hold the front lines, because steam tanks are very tough in melee and they don't break, so that's awesome. I've got a warrior priest also to inspire the men. I have a couple units of the death heads, I think like 4 units of the death heads, and then in the back here more guns, 2 units of mortars. I also have a bright wizard in the town center, and I've got Carl over here on Deathclaw. So let's go ahead and start this battle, guys. So my strategy here, let's kind of zoom out. I can show you my strategy. What I'm going to do is try to hold strategic positions with the halberdiers. You can see I've got some right here. I've got a couple at the gates. Oh geez, here comes that artillery just knocking my men off the walls. So that's a rough start for my poor infantry. Also, I've got more halberdiers holding this choke point. What is that? So I'm gonna try to fire as many volleys as I can at these disgusting greenskins and trolls and monsters. So there goes my my crossbows there, reloading as fast as possible. And then I also have my handgunners firing down at this giant as it gets awfully close to the gate. You can see my men firing there. We have destroyed some of the siege towers, which is really awesome. That's gonna hopefully slow down the pace of their assault. And the giant has reached the wall, so he's going to be safe from handgunner ammo. And there he goes. He's going to start knocking it down, which I do enjoy about siege battles. How oh, what the heck? Did he just like run into the wall and just like knock himself over? That's hilarious. Oh, and there goes the continuing bombardment of the rock lobbers. They've done what, 98% damage. Let's go ahead and watch this wall crumble to the ground. Oh man, the men are just getting ripped off the walls. That looks really cool. I do enjoy that, how it just like they go flying over, from the walls. There we go. A bunch of men died there, and now the walls just kind of slowly disappear. And there's the first breach, and now they are scaling the walls. Here comes the orc boys. My swordsmen are going to try to hold them back. I was trying to get my archers off the walls so I could use them later on during the battle. Let's go ahead and see these bloody sun boys. This is what they look like. They kind of all look the same, to be fair. It kind of just looks like they changed the name. I'm sure they did. They have like slight cosmetic differences. But they are just pouring through these gates. Not looking great for my men. Orc boys storming over with ladders. You can see them climbing up the walls there, which looks really cool. And then my center position still firing. I took out a couple trolls here, and we actually have the general coming in. My gunners are focusing on the general, and the general is going to be the first one to charge through this breach. Classic him. He's just thirsty for blood and violence. Here he comes. I'm going to get my men ready. I've got some of my crossbows off the walls. And here comes the charge. We got a giant coming in. We've got some orc boys, I believe, coming in. My mortar is firing on this position. My great sword's charging in as well. You can see the giant back there trying to get... It looks like he's kind of struggling with the pathfinding back there. Let's see. Come on. Come on, get through there. There you go, giant, you silly giant. Also, it looks like I'm using some ability. Oh, be careful, great swords. He does a lot of damage. So there you have it. The first breach is under attack. The walls, actually the gate has been destroyed. My halberdiers need to prepare. They need to get ready to hold. The battle for the walls has become pretty desperate. We're actually holding okay over here. I still have some reserves that I can send forward, which I'm probably going to have to do. So we can actually get a close-up on the intense fighting. Very nice. Got my swordsman. Oh, jeez. He's aiming for the next section of the wall. Oh, actually, he destroyed it. And a lot of my swordsmen actually survived the fall over there. So they're going to be watching over that gate. Let's see what's going on over on this side. Ooh, it's not looking good on this side. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Lots of orcs taking this wall. My swordsmen are getting surrounded over here, desperately holding back these spear boys, which are fighting pretty well. Come on, swordsman, you can do this, I believe. Carl's just still watching over, and look at the size of this army. How intimidating. It feels like we've been fighting for a pretty long time, but we still have way more units to take on. The Giants is still taking on my great swords, and I'm still taking oh, the mortar. That was a good hit from the mortar. These are the broken tooth armored boys, and we are starting to cause them to rout. I did get some friendly fire there. That's okay. That's just part of war. Sometimes you got to sacrifice your own for the greater good. Oh, the giant. Oh, he eats his head. I feel bad for that guy. That had to hurt. Actually, it probably was a pretty quick death. But that must have been terrifying those last couple seconds. And then the Ragnarok is actually trying to break through over on this breach. But my swordsmen are kind of glitching them out. So look at that. They're kind of stuck over here. And then we've got some black orcs charging through the breach. They don't really mind the swordsmen at all. Oh, here comes that Ragnarok. Oh, that was... Oh, man. If this was 3D, that would have felt like it was coming after us. But my halberdiers holding back the Ragnarok. Pretty soon, we're going to have some black orcs storming in right after this, or right through the Ragnarok. The path that it's making through my men. So it's getting pretty intense, guys. I mean, there's a lot of battles going on at the breaches, which is really cool. I do enjoy that. And the giant still alive, still kicking. Let's go ahead and turn on the HUD so we can see the health of the... Oh, he's still going pretty strong. My great swords are still in the fight, but they've lost about half of their unit, taking on all these broken tooth orcs. The walls are crumbling. My men are soon to break. Oh my goodness, did you see them go flying? I love it. The artillery. He's getting some friendly fire over here. Is he going to bring down this wall as well? Is he going to open up another breach to this fortress? Yes, he is. It's at 61%, but he is definitely getting some friendly fire, which is good for me. And then I'm now holding on the breaches over here. My halberdiers keeping back these orc boys, which is a pretty good match. Actually, is this... This is actually spearmen. My bad. These aren't halberdiers. Spearmen with shields. And then I've got some gunners in the back trying to protect their position. Kind of doing a combo over there. They're actually firing at the spear boys up on that flank over there. Because I can't really, obviously, I can't really get a good shot on these guys who are engaged in combat, in melee. And let's go back to this main fight. The Ragnarok is actually breaking because I'm focusing a couple guns on it. So that's why I brought over those handgunners. Try to save the day against these monsters. But the orcs are really pouring in over here. And the walls are pretty much lost except for the small unit of halberdiers fighting very bravely even though they're outnumbered. And then we've got a very intense fight going on this side. We just got a long line of just bloody sun boys fighting my spearmen with shields, and they're doing a pretty good job holding them back. That's pretty great. All right, so let's head back over here. Carl is on the move, guys. Where is he going? I don't know where he's headed. No, I think he was just using some abilities there because things are thinning out for our defense, which is not good. It just seems like the numbers of the orcs is just endless. Every time you kill 3, 5 more show up. It's a very desperate fight for my boys over here, my Empire boys. Oh yes, and look, he broke through another breach in the wall. He's gonna charge through the breach, into the breach, men. One more time. Except they're probably not talking like that. They're probably just like, whoa! Charge and flank the great swords. The giant still kicking around, still just doing a lot of damage. His health is running low though. So hopefully we can take him out quickly. But this flank from the orcs here is not going to be good. The greenskins, I should say. And we got a huge blob of spear boys pushing on this flank. This is not good because my spearmen are starting to get overwhelmed. So I'm going to go ahead and send over Carl. Let's actually see the point of view of Carl here as he is about to engage. He's like... You can see the battlefield. This is a perfect view of the battlefield. It's like Napoleon in his hot air balloons. But he's about to go in. Let's see. Or actually, he's just keeping the men inspired. Deathclaw is eager for killing some orcs here. Okay, I guess he's not going in. That's unfortunate because I really wanted to see a nosedive into battle. Let's head back to the front lines. We actually got some orcs wavering over here. Oh, jeez. Artillery's crashing in. My steam tank firing. And look at this, guys. I've got nothing to contain the goblins and the black orcs. Actually, these are the War Boss Immortals. So they've opened up a very huge gap in my defense. My steam tank is going to try to cover that defense. There we go. Look at that. It's shaking around trying to take out some of these goblins. What is this? Do we have some abilities going on over here? I think he's buffing some of his men. And my greatsword's still trying to take on this giant. Oh, jeez. It was a very intense struggle over here. Now he's got trolls trying to break through this breach as well. Alright, let's actually see what's going on over here, because Carl has now engaged. Yeah, he's just in a river, or in an ocean, I should say, of orcs, trying to desperately help my spearmen here. And Carl's doing a lot of damage, guys. He's getting tons of kills at this point. My spearmen are, I think they're really close to wavering, but I've been using a lot of abilities from Carl to keep them in the fight. And we do have some orcs breaking. Look at this, a huge amount of them breaking. Deathclaw is too much for them, even though it's just one man on his mount. Let's see what's going on. Oh, we got some abilities coming in. The skeleton face there. Getting a couple good hits, but things are looking really bad. Oh, and we've got the fireballs of justice falling upon the orcs and the trolls, the stone trolls. So, not looking great. I'm running low on men. I sent in my death heads, but they are also dying to the amount of just troops storming through the breaches. Here's my death heads in action. If you want to see them, there they are. They look so cool. I like they're very dark. I mean, they're death heads. Oh, yeah, go get them, Steam Tank. You're wrecking these troops. My guns are in the back here. We got trolls just ripping through my lines, trying to silence the guns. Also, the artillery is just bombarding my artillery position. My mortars are about to be charged, so pretty soon they're about to be silenced. I'm now sending in Carl because now is the time. This is our last stand. This is our only hope. We're going to have to get a chain route. My mortar is still activated. It's still firing. Let's see. What else do we got? The guns are pretty much stuck in melee. And here comes the storm of orcs. We've got some abilities coming down here. Here comes the fiery skull again. Actually taking out a decent amount of orcs there, which is fantastic. My death heads and my great swords are still fighting side by side right next to the steam tank. And the steam tank, he's just kind of, firing point blank, trying to save the bright wizard, but it looks like the bright wizard is going to break very soon. Look at him. He's just surrounded by these, let's see, the black orcs with shields. Actually, are they breaking? Is there hope? No, they're about to surround the steam tank. They want to take that out because it's still holding the front line. And look at these poor souls. They are fighting back to back around these black orcs, the war boss immortals. It's a very elite unit. I feel bad for these guys, but there's nothing I can do at this point. Oh, nice. Was that the steam tank? I think so. There goes, Carl's throwing people in the air. He sees his men in trouble, so he's trying to get over there to save them. Come on, Carl, break these orcs, break them, you can do it. Oh, the mortar is still firing. Also, the mortar is trying to support the men who are surrounded, and they're just like, they're praying to the great gods of the old world, hoping that they save them in a time of need. Oh man, it's just an ocean of orcs. All I really have are some elite troops. If we head over to the other side, the goblins and orcs are also pushing on this flank. For some reason, my mortars are over here. Why didn't my mortars go this way? I don't know. But I've got some death heads watching the flank. And then I also have more death heads watching this flank as well. But they're about to get counter-flanked by some orc boys. But they are wavering. Look at this, guys. We have a massive amount of orcs wavering. Carl is still going pretty strong. He still has most of his health. And the steam tank is also going pretty strong. But unfortunately, the men who are surrounded here are just getting chopped into pieces. We've got all kinds of abilities being used. Oh, come on, Carl. Come on, hold them back. Swing them around. Do whatever you can. Deathclaw, now is the time to get fierce. I mean, all I can really do to win this battle is to try to break them. Try to take them out. I mean, obviously, I can't really... Oh, look at the amount of troops breaking. I think Jackie Fish is using some abilities with his general to try to keep them in the fight. But, oh no, my great swords are breaking now. My steam tank is just completely surrounded, trying to take out some of those stone trolls. The steam tank, though, still has lots of ammo, still has lots of health. It's still in the fight. I've now got Carl watching the very flank of my army. Look at Deathclaw just storming his way through the ranks of this bloody Sun Boys. And my Death Heads still holding this flank against the also the bloody Sun Boys. We'll go ahead and zoom in on their epic struggle over here. Get rid of the HUD. Better view. Oh, jeez. And look at, they're just pushing with pure muscle. And I'm also holding them back with more Death Heads over here, which is a really good unit of holding back troops. Fantastic. And really, the only thing that's watching this main center line is my steam tank. So this is where Jackie Fish just kind of gives up on that steam tank. And he's going to push, because obviously he's going to need to push. And he's going to try to take out some of my my crossbowmen who are just poor crossbows, trying to hold back this horde of like war boss immortals and black orcs. And soon my Death Heads are about to be surrounded. Carl is really low on health. He's getting there. He's getting pretty low. And I just can't seem to break these guys, even though I'm using as many abilities as possible. Unfortunately, at this point, my Bright Wizard had retreat from the battle. I do have a couple units of infantry. I think this is like one guy over here. Unfortunately, when you destroy the walls like this, you see how there's two openings there? The men on the gate just get stuck. So I was not able to send these guys into battle because they would not go down from the walls. My steam tank, he's breaking. Look at, oh yes, my steam tank's doing an excellent job here. Gotta love that. He's fighting very, very bravely. The crew inside is fighting very, very bravely, trying to get up, just trying to take out as many as possible. But pretty soon, look at it, has no health. Boom, there it goes, just completely destroyed. And you can see just the top here completely crushed. A tragic sight right there. And here comes the march of the orcs. And Carl is fighting so bravely. Bravely. But it just doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. Oh, man. In the end, it just doesn't even matter. And the Death Heads are now surrounded. And this is the last couple units I have left. The orcs are just going to run amok. And there we can see my men are wavering. And we are at the last 10 seconds of the battle. So, oh, there we go. There's the end. So, yeah, unfortunately, Carl didn't die in battle. So, he'll have another day to come back and try to redeem his empire. But just, it was too many. Really, really too many. I was going with a strategy more around, you know, defending the... look at that. You can get some good... Anyways, this camera angle is distracting me. I was trying to defend the town center because that's where I felt like my men would have fought a little bit better rather than the walls because of his artillery. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. He had too many troops. It was close, though. It was really close. It looks like he has a lot left over, but we almost caused him to break. Let's go ahead and end the replay. Unfortunately, we can't see the results of the units. I don't know why Total War did this, but I wish you could just like hover over and it would say the kills or something. But I can't really see the performance of these troops. But I'm pretty sure Carl got a ton of kills. Like, he was in that fight for most of the time, taking out these huge blob of orcs. And I think my Death Heads also got a ton of kills. The handgunners did well. Look at this. He got like 3 chevrons there. That's fantastic. So let me know how you guys feel about this mod setup. If you have any recommendations, maybe you want to add on to the mod combination. Whatever it may be, let me know, guys, how you enjoyed this. I felt like it was a lot better, especially watching the replay. It was a little bit more intense in the streets, which I think is way more enjoyable to watch because I love watching troops fight in the streets. Most Warhammer battles or siege battles end at the walls. Like, if you lose the walls, it's over, and I don't necessarily like that. So thanks for watching, guys. It means a lot. Of course, leave a like, subscribe, and share it if you want, if you enjoyed it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that now. So thanks, guys. I'll see you next time.